2:10.
Found it.
Genesis 22, verses 7 to 10. We there? We there? Genesis? That's okay. Let me see what you got. Genesis 22, verses 7 to 10. Okay, Genesis 22, verses 7 to 10, and it reads, And Isaac spoke to Abraham, his father, and said, My father. And he said, Here I am. Here am I, my son. And he said, Behold the fire and the wood. But there is the lamb. But where is the lamb for the burnt offering? And Abraham said, My son, God will prove himself a lamb for a burnt offering. So they both went of them together. And they came to the place which God had told him of. And Abraham built an altar there, and laid the wood in order, and bound Isaac his son, and laid him upon the altar of wood. And Abraham stretched forth his hand, and took the knife to slay his son. And I'm going to go down one more. And the angel of the Lord called upon him out of heaven, and said, Abraham, Abraham. And he said, Here am I. Now those passages were talking about Abraham. Abraham was going to prove himself to God. Abraham was going to sacrifice his son. So when the script says he stretched forth his hand to slay his son, this is what that means. Right? This is the kind of dedication that Abraham had, that he was going to sacrifice his own son. So compare that to the dedication that we have. God is not asking us to sacrifice anybody, right? But think about what kind of dedication we need to have. This man was going to kill his son. He was going to kill his son, and God wanted to see if he was going to do it. So this is why promises were made to Abraham from this point, Genesis, the beginning, right? So we already had, us as other Christians had an inheritance because of what Abraham did. We there, so we together? We are embarking on a new year. This is the last Sunday of 2013. The next time we see one another, it will be a new year. Now, of course, I know the tradition is you get the ball, you know what I mean? Happy New Year, right? that's fun and all. Some people be like, yeah, right? I ain't gonna say too much about that. But the tradition is with a new year, right? You have to come new. You got what's called New Year's resolution. You know what that is? No? You know what that is? Okay. Right. Exactly. Exactly. You make goals for yourself that you want to accomplish in this new year. Some things are things that you may need to put aside for the new year. There may be some things you need to do for the new year. But we all make New Year's resolutions. What resolution are you going to make for your father? What are you going to do different for your father in 2014? 2014. In 2013, right? The Bible speaks of end time, end days, where things are going to be happening, which are spoke about in this Bible, that are happening in 2013. What resolution are we going to make to the Father to solidify our salvation? Because after the ball drop, and you see the lights and you see the pretty fireworks, then that's that. But what are you going to do with your eternity? How are you going to get closer to your Father in 2014? That's what New Year's mean to me. Now let's think back. Abraham was like this on his son. He was willing to do that. Right? That was his dedication. What are we going to dedicate to? We are not promised to see 2014. Let's just get that clear. We're not promised to see the rest of the day. Let's just get that clear. So the time is now. We have to act now so that we can be in a position to go back to the Father. Not be stuck in a rut. Not be doing things that we know are wrong, right? That's easy to do. That's a trap. When we speak about the enemy put things in front of us on purpose. And we notice those things. We get off focus of what we're supposed to do with God, for God. We are embarking on 2014. Wow. I think as long as we've been living around here, 2014, it's better late than never. But get on top of what you're supposed to do. Nobody have to tell you. You know what it is. For each person, it's different. For each individual, it's different. Judge yourself. Just as when we take communion, you judge yourself. Because if you take unworthily, from your Father. So judge yourself. Judge yourself. What is it that I can do to get closer to the Father? Take Take baby steps. If it's distractions, sometimes you got to cut distractions out. Sometimes we got to cut people out. Sometimes we got to cut out friends, family. It's the truth. Let's just keep it real. If I don't say what I'm supposed to say, then guess what? I'm going to get cut out. So I got to say it.
That's right.
Things are put in place as a distraction. Things are put there on purpose. Here to the things that touch you, whatever it is. It could be your finances, right? It could be your relationships. It could be your dog or cat. It could. But you can't let these things get you off focus of the things that you need to do. Now, I'm not one to judge and say, do this and pray and do this, right? Do what the Bible say do. Do what the Bible say do. Whatever the Bible say, that's what you do. I pray all the time. I may not be on my knees. I might be behind the wheel. I could be anywhere and lift up a prayer. But the thing is, we have to stay focused on what our goal is. We are not here just to be here, roam around the earth, and just be willy-nilly like that. We have a duty. You got a duty, and everybody in here has a duty. Are you fulfilling your duty? Are you fulfilling your part? Because he never fails on his part. You know, if I'm getting ready to say something. If you got a responsibility in the street and you don't take care of your part, somebody coming after you, ain't they? If somebody asks you to do something out here in these streets that you ain't took care of, it's going to be a price to pay, ain't it? It might be some of this, it might, whatever the case may be. And what do? We take care of that responsibility, because don't nobody want none of that, do they? I don't.
Some people like that.
Don't nobody want none of that, do they? I don't. I don't want none of that. Right. Whatever deal that we make, whatever thing that we do, that we supposed to take care on our end, we do that, right? Why can't you do it for your father? He the one. He the one when it could have went much worse out there. He showed mercy on you. He the one protected you. When people was plotting against you to do something to you, he the one. So we have to do our part. We have to do our part. Because